My name's Gabriel Fitzpatrick, and I'm interviewing Mr. Harvey Lynch.
Hi.
Hello, Harvey.
Hi, Gabe.
How did you first find Nantucket? What brought you here?
I went through an apprenticeship to learn how to cook. I graduated. I got a job at the Olympic Training Center in Squaw Valley. I grew up in California. I went through an apprenticeship in California. And after working at the Olympic Training Center for about a year and a half, it was 1979, President Carter boycotted the Olympics, so I got laid off. It was a bummer. So I needed a job. I really wanted to collect unemployment and go to Mexico and surf and have my father send me my unemployment checks. But my father didn't like that idea. So a friend of a friend said he knew somebody that needed a chef on Nantucket. They interviewed me, they hired me, and off I came. That's how I got here. And that friend of a friend, my friend is still here. Everybody might know him, Mark Hogan. He owned the Downy Flake for many years. I didn't like it here when I got here, by the way. I liked the work. I worked at a place called The Skipper, which I enjoyed being the chef of, but one of the chefs. But there were a lot of preppy people here. I never dealt with preppy people in my life. It was kind of weird. Can I say that? But I got used to it, and I'm still here. So that was in 1980. So it's a beautiful island.
Cool. How is Nantucket different today than it was like when you first arrived?
That's a tough question. It's really tough because the island itself, I don't think, is different. It's much more crowded. There's a lot more houses. If you were to go up Main Street in 1980 and go up Main Street today, I don't know, probably 50% of the businesses are different now. Still got the same old problems it's always had. Still got that nice island feel. Nice. I actually thought I was coming to a tropical island, by the way. It's not tropical here.
As a kid, what was your dream job?
My first dream job would have been a professional ski racer. And I tried it when I graduated from high school and failed. Kind of miserable. I failed pretty quickly. I figured out that I wasn't good enough to be a professional ski racer. Then I never had a dream job. I just worked. And as it turns out, every job I ever had was my dream job because I loved everything I did. I mean, every job I ever fell into, I fell into being a chef by accident. I loved it. I did it for a long time, and along the way, every job I had, every chef's job I had along the way, I really, really loved. It was exciting. And then when I changed careers, became a boat captain and a school bus driver by accident, I loved it. I loved it. And I think I'm very lucky that I loved everything I did. I don't think I would have done it if I didn't like it. I just loved it. But I know some people think, oh, wow, I want to be an astronaut or something. I never had dreams like that. I just went along with the flow. So I've had my dream job all my life.
Awesome. What kind of jobs do you have on Nantucket?
Well, right now, my two dream jobs, I am the school bus driver for the Nantucket school system, and I work at the Nantucket Yacht Club. In the summertime, I drive a launch, a boat that takes people out to other boats, like a ferry boat, a little tiny launch boat. And I do that about 4 or 5 months a year. And in the off season, I take care of the boats, put them away, get them ready for the season, put them away for the season. And then in the wintertime, I work at the same place in Nantucket Yacht Club, and I do maintenance work. So I basically just fix things. Household, they own a lot of houses or employee housing. I fix broken things, pretty much do whatever they need to be done. And I love it. I absolutely love working there. It's a great place to work. And I love in the summertime, I love being a launch driver. I like the people I meet, and I love nice weather. Winter times are tough here, very tough.
Do you have a favorite memory on Nantucket?
Oh, I got a lot of good memories here. This would take forever, but my best memory, it's kind of sappy. It was 11 years ago. I adopted a dog, a Mississippi mutt, a beautiful little Mississippi mutt. I was single at the time, And as I was signing papers to adopt my dog, my current girlfriend was signing papers to adopt her dog. So we met. We've been, we didn't get together right away. It took a little time, but we have been together as boyfriend and girlfriend. We lived together for the last 10 years plus. And I have her dog that she adopted. She has my dog. So I basically adopted her and her dog, or she adopted me and my dog. It might be the best thing that's ever happened to me, ever. And that's the best memory.
Do you have any hobbies?
I love reading. I don't knit. I don't do anything like that. Sports are a hobby. I love to ski and love to surf, but I don't, not as much as I used to, but I was always very athletic. I love being outside too. I love walking. I love taking my dog for a walk. I love exploring. I love adventure. Any kind of adventure or excitement. That's what I love.
Do you have any questions you would like to ask me?
Has anything very excited happened to you lately?
I recently just gained a new baby brother.
And when was that?
8:30 this morning.
Congratulations. That's pretty exciting.
Do you have a life motto?
So when I give advice to kids, nephews, nieces, kids, friends, kids, I think it's very important that you learn that you treat people how you want to be treated. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of animosity in the world with different races and different people. And you might treat somebody kind of bad, or you might be in a bad mood and treat somebody bad. But you got to remember, you want to treat somebody how you want to be treated, how you want them to treat you. It's very important. If the whole world would be like that, it'd be a lot better place.
Do you have any memorable bus rides, good or bad?
So I'll tell a story. Can I tell a story? So I'll tell a bus story, but we're going to change the names to protect the innocent, okay? So it was about my second year as a school bus driver. And there's always a bad child on the bus. But it all depends on how you look at it, whether they're bad or not. They're just kind of rambunctious. So I had a little child on the bus, I guess a boy, and he was very rambunctious. And he wasn't very good. In fact, he got disciplined a few times and thrown off the bus. He was young. He was, I think, in first grade. And one day I picked him up at the bus stop, and he had a pair of cap guns on, a whole cowboy suit, cowboy hat, cap guns, spurs, the whole 9 yards. He looked like a little cowboy. And when he got on the bus, he said, "Morning, partner." And I knew there was going to be trouble. And right away, he got up on the seat. He ripped one. And it was stinky as could be, and all the kids behind him had a complete fit. And I was ready to kill him. But before I could even stop and get up and get my hands on him, he fired his caps and his cap gun. Now, caps don't sound very good on a bus. So when I did stop the bus, I managed to get back to him, but I gently moved him to a different seat, took his cap guns, put him in his cowboy hat, told him to be quiet, took him to school. And of course, it's amazing. This is the honest to God truth, cross my heart. When we got to the school, he came up to the front and asked me for his pistols back and his hat back. And I said he could get him at the principal's office. So, of course, the whole 9 yards, had to write him up, and he went to the principal. Well, it turned out I felt kind of bad because he was so misbehaving because he really didn't have any parents and he was kind of living alone. His father was working 50 hours a day, and his mother had flown the coop, so he was kind of raising himself, so it wasn't really his fault. He's probably a good high school kid by now. He turned out to be a great kid, but oh my God, I'll never forget it as long as I live. And he actually very quickly after that incident got better and better. The following year, he was a great kid on the bus. It was good. It was pretty good.
When you first get in the bus and get ready to drive kids to school, is there any behaviors you expect to see on the bus?
Yeah, good behavior. Very well-mannered children. Kids get to high school, they get to junior high school. I think it's 7th grade about, maybe 8th grade. They put headphones on, they don't talk again. They can be my best friend in elementary school and very talkative and very nice, but once they get to middle school and high school, they got those earbuds in and they're quiet. Elementary school, they're a little rambunctious. Kindergarten, the first few days, they're as quiet as mice. After that, they're all about as much fun as they can possibly have, and they don't quite understand that the fun they want to have isn't what they can do on the bus. So it takes a while to kind of get them toned down. And they can be really, kindergartners can be, they're very cute, but they can be very misbehaved on the bus. But they get it together after a while too. Mm-hmm. It's trying though. Kids are very well behaved for the most part, except for in the springtime when the weather starts getting real nice and 15, 16-year-olds kind of get frisky and they start showing off for each other. It's a drag because they just do stupid stuff, but it doesn't last for long.
Do you have any pets?
I have my dog and my girlfriend's dog that she was adopting when I met her. And I have 2 cats. And the cats, by the way, are reformed feral cats. So there's a big feral cat population on Nantucket. And my girlfriend's involved with it, involved with trapping the cats and getting them fixed up. And if they're nice and they're tame, getting them adopted. If they're not nice or if they're not tame, if they're not tameable because they're too used to the wild, they make them so they can't have babies. Reformed cats or their house cats are the nicest, sweetest cats in the world. I can't imagine not having a pet.
What do you love most about Nantucket?
There's a lot of things. I love my commute. I've lived other places where I've had to literally commute an hour each way to work. Nantucket, I think my longest commute is maybe 10 minutes in traffic in the summer. I love the beaches. I love it's like living in the country, but there's a little city here. There's quite a community here. Really nice community feel. I mean, it's too good sometimes. You go to the supermarket in the wintertime, you got to be careful not to stay there too long, talking to people. It's a great community, but yet it's country. You know, they've done a nice job with the Conservation Foundation and the other, there's a couple of them that have kept wild land here. They've done a nice job with trails, and it's really pretty. I like spring when we have it. I like summer. I like fall. Winter. Ooh, it's a tough one here. Mm-hmm. It's cold, gray, dark.
Do you have a favorite holiday to celebrate?
Oh, God, good questions. Yeah, I love all holidays. But my favorite holiday is Christmas. And the runner-up is Easter. I love them both. I'm Catholic. I love everything about Christmas except for, all the shopping. I don't do any shopping. But I love everything, the lights, the tree, the decorations, the food. Love it all. And Easter, the same thing. I love the food. Love everything about Easter and the meaning about Christmas and Easter. I love it.
So, do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, that's a tough question. That's a really tough question. I had 2 brothers and a sister. I have a twin sister who is still alive that lives in Seattle, Washington. I had 2 brothers, very close. One of my brothers I was very, very close to, but they're no longer here. They passed away. My oldest brother passed away, 10 years ago of, ill health. And my other brother, who I was very close to, that I shared a room with all my life, died probably 20 years ago of health issues. And it was very, very sad. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, I still miss them both very much. But I loved them. I had a great family. I had a great upbringing. Great parents. Awesome. Very lucky. They're in heaven too.
Is there anything you would change about Nantucket?
That's a tough one. It would be nice if it wasn't so crowded, but that's just everywhere now. I think maybe there is a little too much building. There's a lot of building right now that needs to be finished. We'll see how it turns out. There's a big, huge development, as you know, out in Gregland area on Gregland Avenue. Mm-hmm. And it's, halfway done. I think when it's done, hopefully it will be for the better. We'll wait and see.
What's your biggest accomplishment, period?
I don't know. That's a tough one. Being alive and being healthy and being somewhat comfortable is my biggest accomplishment. You know, haven't done anything really great in my life, but my biggest accomplishment is still being here and being in good shape, I guess.
What are your thoughts on global warming?
I'd like to think I'm thoughtful. And so I trust the scientists. I think there's a lot of information that's been done that points to the fact that there is global warming. They know what causes it, or so they think they do. Hopefully they can come up with a solution and fix it. It seems, I guess, easy to me, get rid of the things that pollute, but it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, that's all the questions I have. Thank you for having me interview you, and thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure. You did a great job, and
Thank you very much.
congratulations on your new little brother.
Thank you very much. One thing that was interesting when I was interviewing Harvey, like when I first met him during the meet and greet, like it wasn't really like an interview. It was more of like a conversation between me and him. Like I wasn't really asking him questions. It was kind of like a back and forth kind of.